Hi, welcome to Positive People TV. We're here to have a look at calming techniques for adults. But life can be stressful, people and relationships can be very complicated or unkind in some circumstances. Tragedy, turmoil, poverty, war in the world. There's lots of negativity going on around us as well. So when we're stressed, it's really hard to control your emotions. And if you can't be in control of your emotions, then it's difficult to control behaviours. And behaviour is always linked back to your emotions. So it's key to calm our emotions down so that we can make good choices and positive choices with our behaviour. Self-regulation is really, really important. And self-regulation means that is the control of our emotions. Being able to calm ourselves down, being able to choose appropriate emotions and behaviours to exhibit those emotions. And this is easily done through self-soothing. Self-soothing, by using calming techniques, can help calm the emotions. So we might see people self-soothing out and about in the world. If you've been out to dinner with people, you may have that person whose knee goes back up and down, so knee tapping, and that is self-soothing. Now it can be both emotional and physical, and generally when we are self-soothing, it's related to our senses. So they're probably either feeling like they need to get up and go run or exercise, get rid of some energy, or they're anxious, worried, so they're tapping their knee. Other things might be nail biting. I mean, we see that even on television. If we're watching live television, Premier League, football managers nail bite when it's exciting games. The other one, we might see someone who excessively talks. They're trying to self-soothe. It's the noise and what they're doing with their mouth that can help soothe and calm their nerves. Now, not everyone who talks a lot is self-soothing. Some people just like to talk. But as I said, it can be both emotional and physical. Now, we're too old to suck our thumbs, so I'm sure there are some people that still do that unconsciously in their sleep. That's what babies do. They suck their thumbs to self-soothe. It's their way of self-soothing because they're not as mobile or independent as we are as adults. So the important thing about these techniques is you choose the one that is right for you. Not all calming techniques work for everyone. If you choose the wrong one to start with, don't worry, just try another one, because one of them will work for you. Or sometimes we can even find our own self-soothing things. A lot of people, if you ask them what helps you calm down, they'll tell you going to in bed and turning off all the lights. For some people, can be going for a walk in nature. For others, anyway, let's get on to the 10 calming techniques for adults. The first one, hot bubble bath. It's the temperature and the scent that pulls out your focus away from your emotions. So it's an attention grabber. It changes your attention into how relaxed, and if you set it up really nicely, it will relax your muscles, which obviously tense if you're angry, frustrated. Sometimes they tense when you're anxious, depending on how anxious you are. But a nice soothing hot bubble bath is something that you can do to pre-plan. If you know that you're going into a situation where you're going to be a little bit more stressed, like you might be going to do a presentation at your work or at college or something like that. So it's a good way of pre-planning. It's also a good way just to calm yourself down after something's happened. But it's not an immediate thing. Number 2 is an immediate attention grabber, or you can still use it at other times, is sucking on an ice cube. Again, it's about temperature. It changes your attention away from your emotions, and it focuses that attention on the different temperature change in your mouth. Number 3 calming technique for adults is curling up under a weighted blanket. A weighted blanket, it can be bought, or you might have a heavy duvet quilt or a heavy blanket that you can get under. Now curling up is we're kind of getting into a semi-fetal position there, which that's the reason why it feels calming and comforting, is because we're going back into our mum's womb. It's taking us back into that place. It's also a sensory thing, having things on us. Pressure relieves the tension in our bodies. It's just like a strong cuddle. So if you actually have someone that you can ask for a cuddle, that's even better. It can be immediate then, and you can cuddle them really tightly, or they cuddle you really tightly. And often when you've had a cuddle from someone, you may actually feel yourself that calming sensation of a cuddle. It helps the nervous system take you back into rest mode, and obviously you've got the links back to the womb, and it does really relax your anxiety, reduces anxiety, it reduces your heartbeat, and it reduces your breathing. And talking about breathing, that's number 4. It's box breathing. Now box breathing means we are focusing on our counting and the breathing. So if you've done yoga before and other meditation type activities, then this is very similar, where they want you to focus on your breathing and the counting. Now with box breathing, you inhale slowly for 4 seconds and you're counting while you're doing it. You hold for 4 seconds, then you exhale slowly for 4 seconds and hold for 4 seconds, and you do it again, and you do it as many times as it takes to help reduce that anxiety. This one can be an immediate action too. So if you're feeling stressed or angry or frustrated, get the box breathing out, start focusing on the counting and the breathing, and it really does help you regain control of your emotions very quickly. The 5th calming technique is changing negative thoughts into positive thoughts. Now we all have negative thoughts. Our brains are really complex organs, and they always give us thoughts that maybe isn't actually what we really think, but that thought is out there. I'm a believer that what we do and say and put out there to the universe does come to fruition. So we need to be careful about our negative thought pattern, because our negative thought pattern, especially if we're down, if life is a bit tough for any reason, if your emotions are quite sad in the first place, having negative thoughts can drown you down. Rewriting and changing your narrative is really, really important. So you might have a negative thought. Oh, you might meet someone for the first time. You say, oh, they seem a bit abrupt. But then your positives, you can change that around and go, actually, they may be abrupt because they might be worried. Maybe I should talk to them more. But there's always reasons behind people's behaviour. We make negative judgments about people very regularly. We need to think about what's the emotion that could be behind that judgment. Not all times. Sometimes people are negative, and there might be a story behind it that means that they've got negative behaviour. But we need to change it into positive thoughts. Especially here on Positive People TV, it's all about positive thoughts. We are all going to be negative. No one is perfectly positive all the time. But if you can change it around, and if you actually say something negative to somebody, then apologise for it. Sorry, it's not actually what I meant. What I meant to say was, and you change it around. There's things about you that I like. I mean, in arguments, this is why we need to use calming techniques, because in arguments, that's when we say the things that we regret after. So let's keep ourselves calm. Try and practice in your thoughts every time you have a negative thought about yourself, about others, about a situation. Rewrite that narrative into something more positive. it can be done, and once you do it regularly, it becomes verbatim. You stop yourself, you say, no, that's not what I want to say, this is what I want to think. Okay, the sixth calming technique for adults is using visual meditation or yoga, doing something physical. It brings your focus on an item. Like you could have a candle burning, so you can meditate with your eyes open, so you can focus on that point, or you can just do it can be a spot on the wall. It doesn't have to be. It can also, you can do it with your eyes closed. You can focus on a memory, a visual memory, something, a happy place or a person. It could be anything, and you just quietly use your breathing. So you can use box breathing for this. Deep inhale, a deep exhale, and nice and slowly, and you calm your body down. So you're calming your heartbeat down, you're relaxing your muscles, you're doing all those things that you need to do to control your body's calmness and emotion. It's another attention grabber for you, so it takes your mind away. Just bear in mind, a lot of people find that difficult to meditate. Now, you don't have to make meditation a long half an hour guru type meditation. It can be quick, 5 minutes or 1 minute. You could do it in your office chair. At work, it's just relax for a minute, deep breathe. The breathing is key, focusing on the visual. If thoughts come in about, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, that's okay. Let them come and then let them go. Don't get stressed, oh, I can't meditate because the thoughts are coming in. It's okay. You are meditating because you're doing the breathing and you're still trying to do the focusing, and it will support you to calm down. Number 7, watch something funny. Well, we all love a good comedy or a rom-com movie. These sorts of things help get those us to laugh. And what laughter does, it produces endorphins, which is the thing that makes us feel good. The chemical in our body that makes us feel good. So laughter is really key. You can join a laughter group. If you go on the internet, you can find some group that do laughter. I mean, back 20, 30 years ago, the Japanese introduced it into some of their workplaces. And in the morning, everyone just went and did bellow laughs and really laughed out loud, so that they started the day in a really good place, feel good, and what they thought it could do is produce better results in the workplace. There's no figures for that, and from my perspective, but that it still made their staff feel good and happy to be there. So that's a really, really good one. And hey, everyone enjoys a comedy. Everyone likes to laugh. Number 8, drink a hot cup of tea. This is like the reverse of having a bubble bath, except you're doing it for the inside of your body. The scent of the tea, the temperature change in your mouth, the taste, all these things help grab that attention away from whatever emotion you're feeling and gets you calming and relaxing down. It refocuses you, and it's a real nice inner sensory way of calming your body down. And most often than not, when we sit down to drink a cup of tea, we're going to be sitting down. So it might be watching a comedy. So you can do both. You can do number 7 and 8 together. But most often than not, when we do have a cup of tea, we're either in solitude or we're sitting down somewhere. So that's a good one. Number 9 is a great one for people who have pets. Play or pet your pet. Now, great stress relief by petting a pet, just doing things like that. So you could, if you don't have a pet, you might have a nice jumper, that feels really nice. You can do the same thing to the jumper. That physical, tactile, sensory movement really relaxes and soothes you. It can. The great thing about it with pets is pets have unconditional love to you. So they'll love it, and what it does is you're soothing your pet at the same time. So you're both getting a great calming technique, and you're showing love, which is always a good thing. I've always thought showing love is always a positive. So interacting with your pets. If you want it more physical, go and play with your pet. It will grab your attention away from your emotions, and you'll always have fun playing with your pets, even on a rainy day. Number 10 is count down backwards from 10. Now do it slowly, do it with your breathing as you're counting down from 10. You might want to use some of that visual meditation while you're doing it. Think of something else while you're counting down from 10. But generally just focus on the numbers, the counting, and your breathing. Yet again, we go back to breathing. Your breathing does help increase your heart rate or decrease it. So if you're slow breathing, you're going to decrease your heart rate, which is going to decrease the tension in your body and relax your muscles and calm down. This is an immediate one, sitting in an immediate attention zone where you might need to calm down quickly. Close your eyes, count back from 10, breathe. And when you're doing this, if you're doing this in front of someone else, tell them what you're doing. I need to calm down, just hold on, I'm going to count back from 10. Hopefully because you're making a choice here. Generally, when you're choosing to do a calming technique in an immediate action, you're still calm enough to make a choice. So you can verbalize to other people around you what you're doing if you feel like you want to. It's up to you. So they're the 10 calming techniques for adults. I'll give you one more bonus, and it's the one I use at all times, is walking away. Move to another environment, change your context, move to somewhere different, walk away. Sometimes I go on a long walk. I need to come down, out in nature, and that's when I use some of the positive thought theory that I enjoy, which is going around and showing gratitude. Oh, I love the trees, and don't want to make this into a religious thing, but I might talk to God about, oh, thank you for the trees, the beautiful green grass, all these sorts of things. You can do what you want, but help with when you're walking away. Think positive thoughts. Or you might want to walk away and think, if you're actually having an argument or discussion with someone, think about your narrative, what you want to say. It gives you breathing space, and then you can walk back and say, I'm ready now, I'm calm. So because it's a movement based one, it's my go-to. It really helps me. When I'm on my own, I meditate. I do the meditating ones and the positive thoughts. So I use a couple ones. I love watching funny things, so they make sense of humour. Makes me feel good. Also, I like watching game shows where people win things. That makes me feel good as well. I like other people being happy. So what you need to do is take control. And if you've got kids, introduce some of these ideas to your kids and practice with them. This is what I do for calming down. What do you do? Yeah, it's really good way, especially if they're younger. They'll quite happily sit down and try and meditate with you. They might laugh a little bit. Let them enjoy it. Don't ever say put a negative on the meditation. Just say, oh, I like to do it quietly. See how long you can do it. Yeah, it's a really good to calm your body. Take control of those emotions, because if you take control of those emotions, you can take control of your behaviour. Before we go, you might want to look at these videos, including the one about positive affirmations. That will give you an insight on what positive affirmations are, how you can use them, because on our channel we do daily meditation, positive affirmations, 5 days a week, allow you to choose on the weekends what you need to do. So be positive, take control, and we'll see you next time. Love and light to you all.